king!
What's up, Headless Horde? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over the best way to watch the Star Wars Saga from episode 1 all the way through episode 9. Alright, so let's get to the list. First, let me preface this by saying this is probably not the order you're going to watch it if you've already seen Star Wars like I have about 1 billion times. So this would be something that you would show your kids. This would be something you would show to somebody that's brand new to the saga. Again, this is just one man's opinion, but I think by doing it this way, you still have all of the surprises without any of the spoilers. Alright, so it probably doesn't come as a shock, but you're going to start with A New Hope. Obviously, you want to establish the main characters, Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, the droids, Vader, and then you get a nice introduction to some of the more supporting characters like Tarkin, Obi-Wan, Uncle Owen, and Beru. You get introductions to the Stormtroopers, the Sand People, to the Jawas, the Millennium Falcon, and then the Death Star. And then my favorite part is that everything gets wrapped up nicely with a little bow, everyone gets their medals, and you have no idea what's in store next. The next film I'd go to would be Rogue One. And here's why. So in Rogue One, we get little snippets of Vader. Obviously, we get that final scene. So in A New Hope, we know Vader is a badass, but in the hallway scene, we now see he's a badass with a lightsaber. We get a little more Tarkin, and we get to see how the rebels stole the plans, and the movie does not end in a very happy fashion. After that, I will go ahead and jump back into The Empire Strikes Back. And the reason why is because you want to continue the story with the heroes we established. We've now seen the backstory of how the rebels got the plans to destroy the Death Star. So now we're going to continue that story. Plus, this is going to ensure that we get the big reveal with Darth Vader and Luke. Finally, it does leave us with a great cliffhanger. And that will lead us into movie number 4, The Phantom Menace. So here I'm going to go back, and now we're going to learn a little bit about Anakin as a young kid, and exactly why he does end up becoming Darth Vader. We get more background on Obi-Wan Kenobi. We get more background on the Emperor, who is just introduced to us. At this point, we don't really know that his name is Palpatine. So I think that in The Phantom Menace, we don't know that Senator Palpatine ends up becoming the Emperor, because he's never mentioned by name. So I think that holds nicely, because I remember seeing The Phantom Menace in the theaters, and once you meet Palpatine, you already know that he's the Emperor. So this kind of holds that little secret pretty much into the end of the film. We also get to see a little younger version of Yoda. We get introduced to Anakin's mom. We get introduced to Qui-Gon Jinn, who is Obi-Wan's master. So it's nice to see that. And then we obviously get introduced to Darth Maul, and that will come into play later on. So at this point, you're going to go ahead and play the next movie in the trilogy, which is going to be Attack of the Clones. And it's going to show an adult Anakin. It's going to show his relationship with Padme. And then after that, go right into Revenge of the Sith. And that will kind of complete that part of the trilogy. So then when we get to the next film, we have all the background information. So we really get a nice payoff in Return of the Jedi. And then of course we get one of the best scenes in Star Wars, when Palpatine and Anakin are talking about Plagueis the Wise. That takes us to movie number 7, Return of the Jedi. So after going back and getting all the backstory for Darth Vader, we can now move back into present day and rejoin our heroes on the search for Han. So after seeing Luke defeated by Darth Vader in The Empire Strikes Back, and now seeing all the backstory and how powerful Anakin is, this will put some doubt in the viewer's mind that Luke may not be able to defeat the Emperor and Darth Vader. So I think that viewing it like this, you really grow an attachment to Anakin. You've seen him as a young kid, you've seen him grow up, you see him fall in love, and you see the horrible things that he does. And in the back of your mind, you still think of that small little boy and how Luke can kind of remind you of him. And then the redemption arc of Darth Vader, thanks to Luke, I think it really drives home what George Lucas wanted. For the 8th film, I recommend going to Solo. And here's why. In the next movie, The Force Awakens, we all know what happens with Han Solo. So by diving back into his past, we get to see a little bit more of that beloved character and his relationships with Lando and Chewbacca. We get introduced to Kira, and then at the end of that movie, we get the big reveal of Darth Maul is actually still alive. So the reason why that's important is because although this video is strictly based on just the movies, but knowing that Darth Maul is still alive will help you understand Rebels, the Clone Wars, and any of the new content that he may appear in. Film number 9, The Force Awakens. So at this point, we're going to just basically go in order, because in this movie, you want to make sure you establish the new characters. You see the end of Han, which is why it's important to watch Solo before this. This movie does a nice job though setting up a plot where we're trying to find our hero, Luke, and then it establishes the characters and gives them the task of trying to figure out where he is. We are then introduced to the new evil in the galaxy, Supreme Leader Snoke, and then below him is Kylo Ren, who then we end up finding out is Luke's nephew because he is Han and Leia's son. This will take us to film 10, The Last Jedi. So in this film, we learn that Luke Skywalker had trained Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, and that did not go well. So Luke blames himself, exiles over to Ahch-To, and then we find out that Supreme Leader Snoke was not the main guy in charge because Kylo Ren takes him out. We learn that Rey does not need a whole lot of training to become a Jedi, but that is a conversation for a whole nother video. And eventually they get to the end and Luke sacrifices himself for his friends. Now the one thing I did like about this movie is that they made Rey a nobody. She wasn't a Skywalker. She wasn't a Solo. She came from nothing. And I did like that. And then at the end, we see the broom boy raising up the broom, using the Force to grab the broom, saying that you don't have to be a Skywalker, a Kenobi, a Solo, a Palpatine to be powerful with the Force. There's other people out there that can do it. Well, if you're still with me, we have arrived to film 11, The Rise of Skywalker. So we all know what happened here. J.J. Abrams tried to undo what Rian Johnson did in The Last Jedi, and what we got was mediocre at best. But the point of this video is not to criticize the films. The point of the video is for me to explain why I think this is the best way to watch the entire saga if you've never seen it. Obviously with this film, it's the final film, so it is what it is. This is the ending that we got, and this is the ending we're going to have to live with. But by watching the films in the order that I've explained in this video, I feel like you get the most bang for your buck. You're getting all the big reveals, nothing's really being ruined, and this is the way I would show it to someone new to Star Wars. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree? Would it be something you would change? Let me know. Let's have a conversation. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like. And don't forget, keep those heads on.